All right, hello again. So I was working on a new feature for my backend so that I could send myself um, a report based on a certain frequency. And so this would be a report that gives me a bunch of logs from the database and does stuff with them that we don't really care about for the purposes of this video. But what we do care about is pattern matching. And this just, yeah, it naturally lended itself to pattern matching, at least the way I did it. And I figured it'd be a great example to kind of walk through. So, I'm sure we're all familiar with the concept of time. Yearly happens once a year, monthly happens once a year, or sorry, once a month, weekly once a week, etc. And we want to figure out if that is the type of report that we should send, right? With the type of report that we're to send. Um, and so this piece here, um, this is a number of statements that we are asking our system about what day it is. Is it close to 5 o'clock? Is it the first of the month? Is it January? And this is all, to be honest, written by ChatGPT because I really just didn't want to think about time and make sure I have everything right. Um, yeah, and so I'm gonna put them all together, and then I'm going to return them. Right, I'm gonna build this like quadruple. Right, so we're gonna have four different fields for each of those different cases. Um, and yeah, so then that gives us the information that we need to do a pattern match. Right, so what is a pattern match for those who are coming from an object-oriented language? We are sorry if my alarm started going off. A pattern match is very much just like an if statement. An if statement, however, is just a very simplified version of pattern matching. We have in an if statement, there's only two patterns we can match on, right? Is it true or false, ultimately? And right, we do that by an if statement returning true, and if it's true, do some action or do some imperative action. Here we are essentially expanding the type and the pattern that we can look at. So we're not really doing that here. I mean, we have very simple types. We just have the Haskell version of bool, but we could, in theory, have a maybe bool. Right. This could be a maybe bool, for instance, or some other complex type, and we could still do the same idea there. But let's just keep it simple. Let's focus on Boolean and tuples or quadruples. I guess it's more formally called, right? This data structure. Let's just focus on that and learn through that example. And so, you know, intuitively, if we have the information on the date, we want to check if it's yearly by seeing, um, if it's 5 o'clock, if it's the first of the month, and if it's January. So that is the only time of year we will ever send a yearly report, and thus we return this. For monthly, it is required to be also the close to 5 and the first of the month, right? So that would be a monthly report. That makes total sense. And we have these other things here, right? We have this underscore, right? We see false here. We can pattern match on true. We can pattern match on false. We can also pattern match on either, or either of them. So this here can be either a true or a false. And we just don't care what it is. We only care to think about, um, what time of day it is and what day of the month it is. Um, and yeah, so then we can look at weekly. We want to see, is this a Friday? It's the only time we really care about what day of the week it is. Um, it's a Friday, and it's 5 o'clock. Friday at 5. Time for a beer and time for an ACE report. Um, and then daily. So this is just very simple, right? We don't care about anything else. We don't care about anything else besides what time of day it is, because we just send a daily report at 5 o'clock that aggregates the day's data. Um, and yeah, so that's where we check that. Otherwise, really anything else, we are going to send an hourly report. So, yeah, that the next thing to say about this is that we have I can say for sure that I've handled all the cases that could possibly happen. Why I know that is because of the worn incomplete patterns. So I'm running this code currently, okay, and I can see that I have not pattern matched on everything that is possible. Um, and so it's now complaining. And so I can do a couple things, right? I could say, for instance, I don't care whatever else happens, just give me back my result that I've chosen. But here we are just kind of being a little bit more specific to kind of, you know, demonstrate the structure of what is happening. Make the code look pretty ultimately, um, and we just return an hourly report. Um, but yeah, so that is ultimately the core of like what we're doing with pattern matching. And I believe that was actually pretty quick. Oh, great. So I want to keep all these videos to under 8 minutes. So these are the bite-sized Haskell series. And yeah.